Hello everyone. Get the... Please, there you go. I just decided to make that the intro because, I don't know, it's just something different. Anyways, yep, it has been a while. Yeah, I apologize, but, you know, yeah, I never have a regular schedule with this, but, you know, yeah, this is like, what? Yeah, it's the 41st episode, so yeah. Yeah, last episode I titled the 50 subscriber special, and since then I've gained, you know, I had 55 subs at the time, and I've gained 15, so I'm at 70 the last time I checked, you know. Yeah, great, man. Yeah, I have subs. It's like, damn. I mean, just 70 is kind of like hard to fathom for me. It's like, really, like 70 people subscribe to me from watching these videos. Maybe the thing is like, I don't know. Like I've been seeing that in a few of the comments I've been getting, that like it's activating nostalgia for people, you know? I mean, I'm not really doing this because it's nostalgic. I'm just doing this because like I just find this as an easier version of Minecraft to, you know, play. To be honest, right? I am one of those people who really cannot play with a mouse and keyboard, right? Like, well, like a really like gameplay intensive game, like a first person shooter with a mouse and keyboard, I can't really play using that without cramping and stuff. It's really hard. It is. Like people, yeah, you know, controllers. just nicer. Yeah, obviously I know you can use controllers on like PC, but you know, Minecraft can't really do that. I think there are probably mods, but yeah. It's just like, you know. Yeah, it seems everyone is just like what? Playing, yeah, most people play Minecraft on PC, right? There are some like people who still do like Pocket Edition, right? I think. I don't know. Because, yeah, I don't know where the console Minecraft community went, because, yeah, I talk about Stampy and Squid, right? There's more people than just that. There was like, I guess there were the people like he brought on, you know, but like, yeah, no, like, you know, like Squid, like other than frickin', was it the Quest series, you know? Yeah, which started from like Quest to kill the Ender Dragon, because they did a series together, Stampy and Squid, about like wanting to kill the Ender Dragon when that was first introduced in the Xbox version. And then once they did that, they continued the series, but it was just like each episode was a different thing. So like it was like it ran for like over 200 episodes. It was like Quest to do something, right? And I think it was like every week. Yeah, I remember distinctly. I think it was every Monday. Ah, man. Yep, like literally just getting back home from school, right? And then like, yeah, like he did a series with was it Squishy, who with, yeah, Skyden, the Den series, you know, Skyden, and then Cave Den, and then what's the one, Ocean Den? Yeah, I remember like, yeah, Ocean Den ran until like 2017. I think it started in 2017 and ran until like 2018. I think so. Man, dude, oh my god. I could just spend a whole episode being nostalgic, right? Like, maybe the people watching are nostalgic. Have you, like, yeah, if, you know. I guess since I get commenters now. If you're watching at this point of the video, I probably should do all my prompts at the beginning. Yeah, okay. It's like 1-2 minutes in, right? Okay, if you're watching this and you are a commenter or want to comment if you have seen if you've seen like Stampy Longnose's Minecraft series is like the Lovely World series, or like, you know, any series, right? And comment, yeah, you know, like, you know, if you have, like, comment if you've seen it, and like, you know, if you want to comment, right? Obviously every, you know, I preface it if you want to comment, but like, do any of you guys remember like all of the stuff associated with that? Like, do you remember like his intro? Do you remember how like in the beginning of every Lovely World video, past a certain point, that he would just like eat cake, right? He would intentionally be hungry and leave hunger bars off of his frickin' ting, like, you know, me right now, and then he would like have a whole cake and then like just eat it down, you know? Oh man, remember that? Remember when, you know, he had, was it El for Lee on his freaking series? I think there was some controversy with that. I don't know. Yeah, remember when Squishy first started appearing on the channel? Remember like in the Den series, like the grass race? Remember that? You know, I don't know if these are deep cuts. These are just things that happened in the series. Yeah. Oh man, it's a thing, man. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing, that like his evolution, like from like, you know, because when he first started playing Minecraft on the Xbox, yeah, like I think his earlier episodes are still up. Like he, yeah, like it was kind of more weird. Yeah, early installment weirdness, because it's like he's, yeah, like he eventually grew. I don't know what he's doing now. I don't know if his content is the same now. I know he's still doing his series. I've seen thumbnails of it. Yeah, I think he probably moved it to PC. I would think so, but like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't watch him now anymore, but you know, I just remember all these things, right? Yeah, I remember just you know, the Quest series. Yeah, the ice cream parlor freaking skits they used to do at the beginning of every freaking Quest, because you know, it just became a thing that was popular. Yeah, there was like a brief time in the Quest series where they like did challenges, right? I think there was a time where like Stampy, like, yeah, where like he had where he freaking like where one of the challenges in one episode was that he would freaking like play the game using his feet. Like he would freaking, yeah, like I don't know, he had socks on. Okay, he had socks on. Okay, I'm not gonna show that, but you know. Oh man, yeah. So yeah, comment if you've like, if yeah, I said last episode, like comment like if you watch Minecraft YouTube or used to and have stumbled upon my channel, how did you get into it? You know, was it true PC? Was it true like Chimney Swift or Ant Venom or the Yogscast? Was it true like Achievement Hunter and their Let's Play Minecraft series? Or is it true the friggin' new generation, you know? I'm not gonna judge, but you know. This is just a fun little thing. Anyways, yeah, I guess. Cool little, I guess. Maybe I might start doing these prompts, you know, if more people comment. Anyways, what's been going on in life, man? What's been going on? Yeah, in my life? Yeah. Stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. When am I gonna finish Life is Strange? Oh my god. Dude, that's just such a running gag. Like, when am I gonna finish the game? Yeah, and I'm like, which one? Yeah, which Life is Strange? Oh, man. Yeah, I don't really know when I'm gonna finish it, you know? Yeah, it's all up in the air. Oh yeah, I was working on this, right? I have a shovel. So what am I gonna do with this? I'm gonna like dig this out and then like replace, yeah, I don't know. It looks weird. I guess I'll just like replace it with grass. Oh yeah, I'll dig this out, yeah. This part. Because I outlined the frame of it, right? So like here. Dig this, and then do I have a pickaxe? No. No, I do not. Yeah, so Life is Strange. I still want to do it. Yeah. Anyways, what's been going on in life? Yeah, I don't talk about myself. I do not talk about myself. I guess if you must know. What have I been doing? You know, I went to a concert. Yeah, I went to another concert. Yeah. Yeah, should I, like, name the bands? I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know why I'm so secretive with that. I don't know. You know. There were like it was like weird, you know. It's interesting that I don't know. I'm just a person who goes to concerts now. Occasionally, yeah. Like it's my first, yeah, it was the first one I went to in like 8 months. Yeah, I said I went to Tree last year, right? Yeah. You know, I guess if you want to know more, it's on my Instagram. But one interesting tidbit is that I am almost certain that I sat next to a music journalist. Cause, you know, yeah, I am, you know, older, so I can, so like the concert took place at like a bar, right? And obviously you have to show ID, right? I don't know. That's one a thing that like I kind of I kind of want to have a fake ID, man. I kind of wanted to have a fake ID when I was like not 21. It would have been nice, just to like successfully get into a place that's 21 and over with a fake ID. Okay, all right, yeah, okay. I'm admitting the crimes. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, I am sorry. I'm sorry for admitting that I would have wanted to do a crime. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, man. I guess shoplifting is also a crime. Yeah. Yeah, okay. All right. I'm sorry. Anyways, I'm almost certain I sat next to a music journalist. So, yeah, basically, I guess, I don't know. I sometimes like being vague. Who? Monsters. Oh, I need a pickaxe. Need to put this stuff away. So, yeah, I guess that's that. It was fun. I just sat in a booth just the whole time, I don't know. It's weird. Yeah. I've been thinking about it and like, yeah, like most people like see concerts as like a fun, as a thing where it's like, yeah, the drinking aspect, like I'm being 100% honest here. It's like, yeah, I did not or did do anything of that nature at all. I literally just sat down in the booth. I like, I walked around a bit, sat down in the booth, and then just stayed there. literally. That's all I did, man. Man, like I wouldn't lie, right? Yeah, that's all I did. Yeah. It's also a thing that like, this is a confession here. I don't really know how to order drinks at a bar. Oh, man. I mean, that's my thing. I think, like, in my head, like, is a bar like a restaurant? Like, is a bar like a place? Is a bar like a thing where it's like you go up and then you say, I know there are drinks. I know that it's like you say like, can I have a beer or something? But it's like, how do you pay? Like I know there are tabs, but it's like I think I overheard like sometimes I overheard that like the bartenders were like, can I have your last name or something? But it's like, I just want to pay in cash, I just want to be able to be like, yeah, like are they like that'll be $10.99, sir, or I don't know, man. Yeah, is that embarrassing? I don't think it is. I think it's wholesome. Yeah, it's also a thing that like I don't know, man. Not like again, I'm not thirsty, so I don't do that. Basically. That's basically it, and like, I probably looked really weird just being alone, sitting, because like I sat alone at like a booth most of the time, and then there was like one person that came up to me, there was like a couple people that came up to me, and then they're like, are you like alone, or are you saving a spot? And then at first I heard it as, are you a loner? I literally did hear it as that. It's like, are you a loner? And I'm like, well, you don't have to put it that way. You don't have to put it that way. Oh, man. Anyways, yeah, the show is fun. I guess I didn't stay for the entire thing. Yeah, because, again, I want to get home. I've talked about that before, right? Of just like, when I'm at a show, I'm just like, how am I gonna? I want to get home. Yeah, basically. Yeah, it's, basically. For the time being, it's cool, but yeah, eventually. Okay, need iron? Where's iron? Where? Oh, here. Oh, God. So, yeah, I guess that was that. What else happened in life? Well, yeah, again, what else happened in Twitter that I saw that I want to talk about and make a whole big deal out of, even though, I might not be completely qualified and I have to frickin' like tiptoe around each and every subject for the fear of like saying something wrong or stupid, which I obviously do all the time. Yeah, I've been thinking, recently, there's this, Jeanette McCurdy, who you might know is, someone who used to be on Nickelodeon shows, iCarly, most notably Sam and Cat, right? She released a memoir called "I'm Glad My Mom Died," and the cover is just her holding her freaking ashes, and it's beautiful, right? Yeah. And it's cool. Like, but the thing I'm surprised of is that like so many people are talking about it on Twitter, and yeah, it's kind of just made me realize that like, yeah, like Gen Z is like a thing, like it really is a thing. Like I don't know, that's the thing. It's like, yeah, like that's the thing. It's like Gen Z doesn't mean teenagers anymore, right? Like in 2018, Gen Z used to mean teenagers, but like now it just means people in their, early to mid 20s. It's so weird, isn't it? Isn't that weird? How like Gen Z is basically what millennials are 10 years ago. It's like, yeah, and now millennials are like aging. They're in their 30s, entering their 30s now. It's like, damn. Anyways, okay, another thing about the passage of time and stuff, and yeah. Oh man, it's yeah. So what did I want to talk about in regards of that? Of like, in the fear of saying something wrong. I guess I just won't get into this stuff, all of what I have to say or think, but like, I don't know. Like, her memoir is, very heavily centered around the abuse she received, from her mother, right? And it like, she's very much like in the memoir debunking the whole like, it's like you have to love your mom, you have to, moms are freaking great, moms are amazing people, but it's like, yeah, her mother isn't. It's cool, like, biological, just because you're, tied with biology, yeah, like blood isn't freaking an obligation to freaking love someone, right? Like, yeah, like that's the whole thing. That's the thing, which I think can be hard to freaking, break. It can be hard, especially in like, yeah. I feel like, Latino, Hispanic, like Asian families, like immigrant families in particular. It's like, it's hard to like, have that notion of just like, just because we're related doesn't mean, it doesn't mean you have to freaking, you're obligated to freaking love them and respect them or like them, right? To like your family, right? It's like, you don't have to if they're not freaking, good, yeah, like if, family members aren't freaking good, you don't have to freaking, yeah, like it shouldn't be you're obligated to freaking love your family if your family doesn't freaking love you back or respect you at all in the slightest, right? Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like there's a lot of cultures where it's like, no, it doesn't matter. You're your family. It doesn't matter, right? Yeah, my freaking culture, family especially, right? Yeah. Let me not get too personal, but in regards to Jeanette McCurdy, right? Yeah, that's her. Yeah, that's the basically just the majority, the point of her memoir. And like, people are latching on to, the other thing, which is that like she details like, the burden, the hardship she felt like being on Nickelodeon in terms of like, I don't know, the weight of just being like freaking, a child star and like on Nickelodeon, on iCarly, and like, the show iCarly's, especially and how it dealt with like Sam's character, because if you didn't know, that Sam's character, her personality is that she likes meat and freaking eating, and that like her mom, Sam's mom in the show is just like negligent and just like just not a good person. And then like, there's an episode where like her mom actually showed up. Yeah, man. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, yeah, obviously, the creator of these shows, of a lot of these Nick live action shows, is Dan Schneider. And yeah, I guess that's basically where I want to stop, because, I guess there just have been like people, rightfully so, freaking calling out, stuff that has, that isn't new, right? Like Dan Schneider isn't associated with Nickelodeon anymore, but like, people have been saying stuff about, him in particular and their feelings, and it's like, yeah, obviously, I don't know. I don't want to get further into it because I disagree with it, with any of the claims. It's like I very obviously do. It's very hard to dispute like anything, but like I don't know. I guess it's just something that maybe like I don't want to freaking talk about because, you know, I guess I'm trying to stay out of my lane. I'm trying to freaking not speak about things I'm not qualified for. Okay, I'm trying. I'm trying. Okay, so yeah, I guess I'll just leave it at that. But I guess maybe just another point I want to make associated with it is that like, damn, dude, like Gen Z is like growing up, man. It really is. I don't know, like it's like. It just wasn't that long ago that like it feels like that I was watching these shows, you know? Yeah, at the same time I was watching Legend of Korra, I was watching freaking Nickelodeon shows. Yeah, all those shows as a kid, and it's like, yeah. I mean, the fact that like, you know, those same people now are the ones reading her memoir and being the most like vocal about freaking Dan Schneider. It's like, damn, dude, you know? I don't know. Like, I know Quentin Reviews is in that space, but like he is a bit older. I think he's like in his mid-20s. So he is Gen Z, but like I don't know. I feel like, you know, him doing all these like freaking like 5-hour long video essays on these Nickelodeon shows, you know, I think my opinion has soured on it over time. You know, when I originally talked about it, I'm like, okay, cool, but now I'm kind of like, it feels just a bit disingenuous to me, you know? I don't know if I'm probably not using that word right, okay? I don't have a dictionary here, okay? Okay, let me look up disingenuous. So, like, you know, let me look it up live. We're doing it live. Please. Wait. I'm carrying on the bit. Yeah, like Quentin Reviews doing all these like hour-long freaking like video essays. I'm like, okay, yeah. Oh man, it's just, come on, man. Once I find a definition for the word, I'll you know. Wait, come on. Here we go. Dictionary.com. Here we go. I'm looking up the word right now. Okay. Oh, what? Here you go. Adjective: lacking in frankness, candor, or sincerity, falsely or hypocritically ingenious. Ingenuous. Ingenious is another thing. Insincere. Her excuse was rather disingenuous. Yes, I feel that frickin'. You know, I don't know, Quentin Reviews making these freaking things is a bit disingenuous because, I don't know, like, I just feel like, I mean, I guess he is passionate about making those, but it's like, I don't know, it's like, I don't know, I don't know, I guess it's just my freaking, you know, personal, like, taste is that, like, I would rather just someone make, you know, you know, like a more creative freaking thing, because it seems that like all he's doing is just like making it a bit that like, isn't it kind of funny that I'm taking a Nickelodeon show and over analyzing it to death? It's like, maybe that isn't funny. Like, I don't think that's really funny, to be honest. I don't think that's like, yeah, I don't think the bit is like cool, because I did watch the iCarly video a little bit, the first one, and it's like, okay, you know, I don't know. It's like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. It's like the bit is that he's over analyzing it. It's like, that's the bit. It's like, isn't it funny, guys, that I'm just like going over every painstaking detail of a kid's show? It's like, okay, I don't know, man. Oh God. Anyways, I guess it's like, what's my greater point, you know? Yeah, just me noticing that like Gen Z has like grown up before my very eyes, and like I'm a part of it, right? Like, I'm not the youngest of Gen Z anymore, and that like, you know, that like, I don't know, I guess it's you know, obviously it's like there's a lot of stuff in like, you know, these Dan Schneider shows that like you second guess, right? Not second guess, but like think is like, okay, that's a bit weird. That's freaking weird, you know? Just like, was it Victoria's had like what is it? Like these like special like webisodes, like because there's a website called The Slap, and like there was like web content made for that, right? And then like there were stuff with like Kat in particular, played by Ariana Grande. You might know her. That is like a bit freaking weird. It's like that's just all I'm gonna say. Like, I don't know. Like, obviously, I'm not gonna disagree with anyone who calls it creepy or frickin', anything like that. Or, but it's like, I don't know. That's the thing. That's my thing. It's like, I'm not gonna disagree with anyone who frickin', I don't disagree with anyone who's making, like, very hard allegations against Dan Schneider, okay? I'm not disagreeing with those people. It's like, I'm not disagreeing, like I pretty much like it's pretty damn hard to dispute. I feel like it's mostly like people are in the right to call it out, that's the thing. That's a part of like the Gen Z growing up, right? It's like we don't think that much of it, but like in retrospect it is a bit creepy, and it's like we can freaking do both at the same time. We can be like iCarly and Victorious were parts of my childhood, but there's but in saying that, those shows were also a bit freaking creepy, had creepy ass things in them. Oh man, dude, that's the thing. We can do both, but I guess like maybe I've been seeing just one side of it. Not one side. I've been seeing like, I just wish people, I don't know, I just kind of people are mad that like a few people are like making are like latching on to a section where Jeanette McCurdy talks about her relationship with Ariana Grande, and like that's obviously not the point of her freaking memoir. It's like, I get it, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like people can joke about it, there was a good Twitter meme of like, was it when Jeanette and friggin' Victoria Justice see Ariana Grande at the reunion? Oh man. Gen Z are becoming readers. When did that happen? There's like a whole thing. Wasn't there like there's a meme of a Spotify playlist that's like Gen Z. Was it? Gen Z like protest anthems, and then the description is like, we were raised on the Hunger Games. How could we not be friggin' like ready to protest or something, or revolution? How are we not ready for revolution? I don't know. But I guess. I don't know. It's a thing. Oh man. Again, I guess. Have I like said everything I wanted to say in regards to that? I guess so. In conclusion, these people making these allegations, I do, I agree, basically. Oh man, it's not people making these; it's just people talking about it. It's like it's not people making allegations about Dan Schneider being creepy. It's that he probably is freaking creepy, and people are calling it out. That's the difference. Okay, I'm sorry that I made it seem like people are accusing him of something without evidence. It's like, I feel like sometimes, I feel like, doing that of was it the whole thing of like associating someone making like messed up content, with like, oh, the person must be messed up then, is kind of, disingenuous, kind of like not good. But like there are some times when that's kind of true though. There are some times when that is kind of true. I mean, the thing is, the thing I'm talking about, in regards to Gen Z, like it's not a new thing with Gen Z. Like millennials and frickin', previous generations dealt with that too, right? Of just like, having nostalgia for having rose-colored glasses and nostalgia over certain things, but like in retrospect being like, that was kind of messed up. It's like, a similar thing is that, One Tree Hill, if you know that show, I watched all 9 seasons of it, so I watched all 9 seasons of One Tree Hill. Do not do that, please. Is that like, was it the creator, Mark Schwann, actually, was it the actress who played Brooke, Sophia Bush. Oh, sorry. was on a podcast, and she was basically talking about how Mark Schwann was, a creepy ass person too, and he was freaking, and his like workplace culture is toxic, right? Was toxic, and freaking, she specifically told an anecdote about like how like Mark Schwann would keep freaking like pictures of the female cast members of One Tree Hill and like have of them in bikinis or something, like, or like he would pit freaking like the female actresses against each other, basically that's basically it. And the whole thing, I don't know. That's the thing. It's like, I don't know, we have nostalgia for things, and it's like, I guess it's important to separate nostalgia from, I don't know, the bad stuff, It's important to recognize, like, maybe like all of the aspects of our favorite things, maybe we're not, the best, and that's how we grow as a person, and that's how we mature, and that's the whole thing. Oh, God. Anyways, I guess is that topic done? What other drama on Twitter do I want to talk about, man? Because Twitter drama is just a healthy chunk of just these let's plays now. Oh man. Oh yeah, publishing. Did I talk? There's drama on publishing. Because there's a trial. Because again, if you didn't know, there was like a merger or something. The trial's called, was a DOJ versus Penguin Random House, which is like, if you didn't know, traditional publishing, they're like the 5 major publishers are what? There are 5, they call it the big 5. There's 5 major publishers, Penguin Random House and Simon and Schuster are among them. But I think like a year ago or something, it was announced that like they would be merging, or like that like Penguin Random House acquired Simon and Schuster, and now there's like a trial basically that probably I don't know, some sort of trial, like anti-monopoly trial or something, where I think it's probably gonna go I don't know if again, I'm speaking out of my ass right now, but the important thing to glom onto is that there's a trial called DOJ versus Penguin Random House. And then, and there's like information being revealed about like advances and like all the aspects of traditional publishing. And then like people are like, reacting with outrage over like all the stuff that's being said, just like all a bunch of it's very inside baseball to that, space of just like advances and like, profits of like, publishers acquiring books, all that stuff, I guess. Any like specific thing that like, I don't know. The latest one I saw was like, was that like, one of the people in the trial, I don't know. I don't know if it's on the Penguin Random House side, was saying that like authors would rather have an advance that earns out over a smaller advance that earns out versus a bigger advance that doesn't earn out, because again, inside baseball tip, if you have an advance for a book, right? It's received in installments, right? Like an advance is like, they offer you this amount of money, you already have a book deal, they offer you an amount of money, and then like in installments you receive the money, where it's like you receive, say you have like, like a $7,500 advance, and it's in 3 installments. 1 installment would be like delivering the manuscript, right? 2 installments would be like the second installment would be like on initial publication, and like the third installment would be like months after publication, right? Basically, I don't know, it's not exactly that, but so like if you have an advance that earns out that money, like that like makes that amount of money that you were offered, you can earn royalties from your books. So but like there are there's a thing of like, would you want to earn out would you want just to have a bigger initial advance, or just have a smaller advance but you earn out and get royalties? And it seems like a lot of authors, a lot of people on Twitter in that space that I'm seeing now would just rather have a big advance than a smaller advance that earns out. So yeah, interesting thing I've learned, I guess. Yeah. Anything else? Oh yeah, I probably should have made like this like the big centerpiece of the episode. Yeah, I guess I have to talk about it, man. Let's talk about romance. Let's talk about romance for a second, guys. So, romance. Okay, it's a genre, right? What is love? Oh man. Oh god. Yeah, what did I want to talk about? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is probably the most interesting thing that came up while I was away, is that like a lot of people, I don't know, on Twitter were talking about like romances and stuff. And this ties into a previous thing I talked about where it has to do with tropes, right? And I don't know, somehow, some way, there's always just an original tweet that gets controversy that it's like I am not aware of, or, you know, by the time I freaking know about it, the tweet is unavailable. So, yeah. Basically, there's, like, discussions on, quote, book Twitter on, like, like, romances. the state of the romance genre of books, you know. Like, I think both traditionally published and self-published, you know? Yeah, where it's like, some people are railing against, you know, romance books that are trope heavy, saying like, they don't really like those kinds of books, right? Like, why do all romance books have to be formulaic? Why do they all have to end happily, you know? Like, why do they have to be like this? Why can't more romances be different? I think which is one side. And then there's another side, you know, romance authors who are saying that's the genre. That's literally the genre. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, it's interesting how, yeah, there was a tweet that, yeah, because I like talking about stuff that like makes me learn things, because like I know romance is a genre, but it's like, like one thing that's important to know that like I guess made me learn something from this is that like, yeah, like there's a difference between romance and like a book with romance, okay? You know, like there's a difference between a book like, yeah, I don't know, book lovers, right? There's a difference between a book like that and a book like The Fault in Our Stars, right? You know, they're two books, both have romance in them. Book Lovers is a romance, The Fault in Our Stars isn't, right? Because like a romance has to have like a couple, right? And there has to be like, they have to have like I don't know. I don't know the tweet exactly. I'm referencing a tweet that I didn't like, so I probably can't find it. But it's like, yeah, like, you know, a thing that like, you know, makes something a romance, like as in like the genre of romance, is that like there's a couple and then it ends happily ever after, right? Yeah, because that's it. That's what it is. Like otherwise, it's just a thing that has a romance in it, or it, you know, yeah, what the tweet calls like it's a love story. Then, right? There's a difference between a romance and a love story, basically. You know, because obviously, like publishing is based on like genres, and like, you know, that's the thing. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, yeah, I guess the thing, yeah, which ties into, you know, tropes, is that like, you know, people are getting mad at like, you know, books being like trope heavy and like, yeah, tropes being used to market books, because that's the real issue here, is that like, you know, more so than ever, right? Like tropes are being used like to market books, right? In terms of like, do you want like an enemies to lovers slow burn romance? You know, it's like, yeah, basically people just throw in all those tropes, right? Like, you know, if you know, are on book Twitter in any capacity, it's like the way people advertise books is that like they have a picture of the book and then they have bullet points, or they have arrows pointing to like just, you know, specific things that are in the book, right? It's like, this book has, you know, shower sex scenes, this book has hot steamy, this book has only one bed, only one bed, Oh, wow. This book has only one loaf of bread. This book has. Okay, alright. Okay, that's a mistake. Okay. Yeah, this book has like insert trope here, right? Of just like, there's a picture of the book and then there's arrows pointing, like, brooding, frickin', grumpy, frickin', male lover or something. Like, fun, compassionate, frickin' adventurous, female, protagonist or something. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, like, yeah, and that's the thing. There's just so many tropes, right? And yeah, and then like these tropes are being used to market these books more than ever. And like, yeah, I would think it's because that like, yeah, readers, point are, fans of specific tropes. And then like on the reader's side, it's become more so that like, people, on TikTok and blogs and YouTube are like, here, yeah, recommend me some books with insert trope here. Recommend me some books that have these kinds of tropes. Like, if you like this book, you'll like this book, right? Yeah, and like tropes are an easy way to friggin' communicate that like a story is a certain way, right? Because yeah, like, if a book has, a slow burn, right? You would, yeah, and people are looking for that, you would recommend other books with a slow burn, right? Yeah, you would recommend other books with like, I don't know, yeah, like friends to lovers or enemies to lovers or rivals to lovers or frickin', I don't know, all those other things, right? Yeah, and I guess like people, yeah, there are some people that have been getting upset at that, and yeah, I totally understand that angle of it. Yeah, like I talked previously about like not really understanding the appeal of just like listing a bunch of tropes in order to like get me or like other people to read like a book, right? Like tropes aren't why I read a book, right? But that's like a lot of readers though. Like a lot of readers, want to read a book because they have specific tropes, and like romance is probably the biggest like one of that, right? It's probably the biggest example of that. It's like people want to read, specific types of romances with specific types of books. They want specific types of love interests, right? I don't know. I think there are people who like romances of any kind, Yeah. I guess my thing is that like, yeah, I guess I'm realizing that like, obviously I don't write genre romance. Like I don't do that, like a romance arc, a romance, subplot or a romance arc is different from a romance, because the romance is like, the story is the romance. Yeah, the story is them meeting and then getting together and doing stuff together, and then, they're together, right? But it's like, yeah, a book doesn't have to be that, right? It's like, yeah. A book doesn't have to be that. What am I saying? Yeah, like, there are books that are, yeah, there are books that have a romance in them, but that's not the point of the story, right? And that's basically, a lot of YA, is that like, the romance isn't necessarily the point of the story, Yeah, like take Morgan Matson, for instance. It's like, if you read, like, I don't know what the purest form of, like, a romance by her is. Like, I don't know. I think it would be, like, Amy and Roger's Epic Detour, but it's like, like none of, yeah, like, I don't know, thinking about it again, it's like, I don't think any of her books are, like, just strictly a romance. Yeah, like, none. Yeah, like, Since You've Been Gone is about, like, someone completing a list that, like, their best friend sends them, right, in order to be more confident, right? And then, like, Save the Date is about, a wedding that goes wrong, and, like, someone's, like, big family, and, like, how the problems they're dealing with, and, like, The Unexpected Everything is about, there's a romance in it, and I think that's probably the best example of, like, the romance playing the biggest part, but it's also, like, the main character dealing with, like, her being distant from her father, right? It's like, yeah, there's a lot of frickin', like, yeah, that's the thing. But it's like, I don't know. There are, like, YA books that are specifically, like, romances and, like, basically nothing else, right? Like, I would assume, like, Anne and the French Kiss is that, right? Or, like, was it there's a series called, like, Love and Gelato and stuff. Was it Jennifer E. Smith has, like, books called, was it Hello, Goodbye, and Everything in Between, which got a film adaptation. And, like, the Geography of Me and You, like, those are purely romances, but it's like, I don't know. Yeah, like, the YA books I like are, like, contemporary stories, like, coming, yeah. Because that's the thing. It's like, yeah, like I really like reading coming of age stories, but it's like that's not a genre though. Like that's not an official genre with official things like listed of like it must have these elements, right? A coming of age story just has to have someone coming of age, right? Yeah. And that's another thing is that like I tweeted before that like I feel that, labeling coming of age stories as only a teenager thing is kind of weird because they're like so many moments, as you grow up is that are coming of age types of things, right? Yeah, like, living on your own for the first time. Like a lot of, it's becoming a thing that like a lot of teenagers aren't, a lot of, it was the expected thing for a long time that like, you move away from your parents' place at like 18, but it's like a lot of people don't really do that, anymore. Yeah, a lot of people. They're a growing number of people aren't really doing that anymore and are staying with their parents for college or something like that, right? Yeah, or like, like living on your own for the first time is a coming of age experience, or like, changing careers, I feel like, like, yeah, like just, coming of age to me is just like different segments of your life. Yeah, like different segments of your life, like a transition from one part of your life to another, right? And and that doesn't always happen when you're a teenager, right? Sometimes it's good to happen in your 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s. Yeah, like that's the thing. I don't know. It's weird how we only see coming of age stories as like stories about teenagers, Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but I guess like coming of age stories aren't like coming of age stories aren't a specific genre of story, with like that romance is, because it's like like it's basically just like where something is like put, right? Like if you go into a Barnes and Noble, there's a specific romance section. There isn't a coming of age section. Yeah, like the books like Danielle Steele, Colleen Hoover. A lot of people don't really like Colleen Hoover, by the way. Maybe I'll talk about that. I don't know why, but yeah, like those books, or like Nora Roberts, or like freaking like grocery store paperbacks, to use a very rudimentary term, just like those ones with like the self-published Amazon books with shirtless guys on the cover, right? It's like again, I'm sorry to take a shot at self-published books, like like that's the thing. Every time I talk about self-published books, I have to like I should preface, it's like I'm sure there are good self-published books out there. It's like there are good self-published books out there. Let me revise that statement. It's like, but I generally don't seek them out, right? And it's like obviously not every freaking romance book with a shirtless guy on the cover is bad. I have to state that. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like like Amazon is basically Amazon and self-publishing. The self-published books are the perfect like area to look at this, where it's like there's a book called like Curvy Girls Don't Date Frickin' the Quarterback or something, or like it's literally has in parentheses of the title of the book a high school quarterback romance, right? Like an enemies to lovers spicy frickin' story, right? Yeah, where it's like like they have to freaking put that in, because it's like those are what get the clicks, I would assume. Those are what get sales, right? Of just like, I'm just looking for an enemies to lovers romance, whatever it is, I'm looking for a romance where a cheerleader dates, a bad boy jock and stuff, something like that. And they freaking immediately seek those out on Amazon, and right? And those are specifically like, I don't know, those people specifically make those titles, right? And put the specific details of the relationship dynamic in the parentheses, right? And I don't know. I guess people are. Wanted to talk about this because people are talking about the thing that I'm kind of like feeling, of like I am not necessarily that interested in like trope heavy, stories, I mean, I don't know. I'm not interested, like, a story being marketed by like someone listing tropes isn't gonna get me to read it. Yeah, like I've said that before, right? And yeah, people are like talking about it, and like there's a tweet thread that was talking about like, you know, like this could be stemming from this whole romance trope, whatever thing, backlash could be stemming from like, you know, romance authors not learning craft, you know, necessarily, you know, they just, you know, are like, I'm just gonna put a bunch of tropes and that's gonna be the story, without like, you know, taking time to focus on like, you know, the craft of like actually writing, right? Yeah, and I don't know, I feel like I take craft very seriously in terms of, you know, going over every sentence and freaking making sure freaking, I don't know, yeah, like like constantly self-editing and revising, you know, constantly doing that, making, you know, to a freaking annoying degree, to the point where I probably should just make progress, but you know, whatever. Yeah, anyways, so I guess that's just what I wanted to talk about in regards to that. Yeah, like, you know, maybe it would be, you know, it would be cool that like if I don't know, the focus was a little less on tropes and a little more on like, what's the actual story about? It's like, what, you know, because it's like a list of tropes doesn't tell me what a story is about, right? It's like I want to know, like, I don't know, what exactly the story is, to be honest, right? Yeah, rather than like tropes, you know, you could just tell me, yeah, like, I don't know, there's just so many different like kinds of stories where it's like, what, yeah, it's like you're just listing a bunch of freaking, you're just listing, yeah, enemies to lovers, only one bed. It's like, oh, it's like, you know, it's like, how am I supposed to gleam onto anything with that, right? I don't know. It's like, yeah, like if you want to market a book, like you could just, yeah, like literally like give like a description, but it's like, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, it's hard to do that on Twitter where, you know, it's 280 characters, you know, you want to get people like interested in your book. And like, if, you know, listing tropes, you know, like pointing to arrows is gonna sell your book and like sell more copies, then yeah, go ahead. But it's like, I don't know. I guess it also ties into the thing that like, you know, the way books are marketed these days, a lot of people aren't really liking, right? And that like, you know, a lot of aspiring authors on Twitter wish that like they didn't have to like market, you know, books this way, you know, or like market themselves this way, or, you know, like constantly having to tweet about like, you know, their story like this. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's also another thing too of just like, it doesn't extend to like public it. Yeah, it's not only limited to like published books. Like a lot of people like are like, you know, there's a whole segment of like was it authors on Twitter, you know, who are like writing books, and it's like they talk about their work in progress. They talk about their whips like this, right? Of just like my my work in progress is, and then like they list like 4 to 5 bullet points, right? And they're like, you know, specific freaking prompts that a few people do on Twitter for engagement, right? You know, which I think, you know, yeah, are totally cool, right? Like I don't participate in them because like I don't feel like my work in progress can be boiled down to just bullet points, but there's a lot of different ones where it's like, describe your work in progress as if it's a job description or something. Yeah. Describe your work in progress, but you know, using a mood board. You describe your work in progress, you know, in the format of like, am I the asshole? And it's like, yeah. So yeah, I guess that's just a thing. You know, it's just cool, but it's like, I don't know. I just don't feel like I could ever be a person that like just boils down my work in progress to like 4 to 5 bullet points, right? You know. Yeah, you know, all those cool. Yeah, I guess that's also another thing tying into like, you know, probably why I haven't, you know, probably been more involved in the writing community, the YA writing community on Twitter, is that like I'm not really willing to do stuff like that, you know. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I could just like send a tweet out and be like, does anyone want to beta read my freaking book, you know? But like, I don't know. I'm cool. Anyways, I guess I talked about enough here, right? Yeah, anyways, Minecraft, you know, it's cool. I did some work on what I was supposed to do today. Oh, man. Yeah, and please, dude, the nets, man. KD wants to freaking get the coach he wanted freaking fired, man. He literally does that. He literally wants that, man. He's like, hire this guy, hire Steve Nash for me. And then 2 years later, 3 years later, he's like, it's either him or me. Anyways, where the hell is Kevin Durant gonna end up? Oh man. God, Jesus Christ. Anyways, yeah, that's basically all I have to say. I wish I could communicate things better, but this is all I've got. Okay, I'm learning here. I'm learning. Oh man, I'll be sure to acquire a nice heaping freaking chunk of Twitter drama next time. So yeah, I guess that's been it. Yeah, anything else? Oh yeah, oh god, yeah, Life Is Yours, the Foles album, like, I freaking love that album, man. Oh my god, yeah. And also Barty Strange's album, Farm to Table, I love that album too. I think Heavy Heart is probably my song of the year at this point of 2022. And like the Foles album, like I feel like that, I don't know, I feel like it's very close between that and the Barty Strange album, but like the Foles album is like getting to be my album of the year. I think it's like, oh god, dude, that album just like perfect, man. Like pretty much like pretty much every song, like the grooviness, like I describe it as like taking what they do best with their music is that like making rock music, indie rock music that like has a groove, that isn't just purely like like just guitar, like hard guitars, and just like making it like danceable, right? Just not really danceable, but like groovy. Like Wake Me Up is like has that guitar line and friggin' but it's also a song that you can imagine yourself dancing to, right? It's like, yeah, basically, really just, oh god, yeah, like Wake Me Up, Life Is Yours, the title track, Flutter, and friggin' was it 2 a.m. 2001, which like leads into an interlude, which is like seamlessly, but like it flows seamlessly, but I'm like, why does it have to be a separate track? It's like only 36 seconds, yeah. Crest of the Wave, the sound, it's like, goddamn, those songs, man. I don't know, I'm just loving it, man. Oh god. Anyways, yeah, that's basically been it for this episode. If you made it this far, yeah, leave a comment, man. What do you think about romance or Minecraft or friggin' Jeanette McCurdy? Anyways, yeah, dude, that iCarly reboot getting a third season? Seriously, man? Seriously? Like, I should watch it, I guess. Yeah. Anyways, this has gone on way too long, so yeah, goodbye.